Hi guys, welcome back to some more action with Accrington. We are at the end of the August transfer window. We have 2 days left to go. I can't see there being any more signings. It depends if any players leave. Players leaving on international duty. So let's have a look. We have Milanov, Azogwe, Bejarano, Asciata, Fathi, Reha, Velasco, Tim Payne and Bone. Wow, we have a load of players. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have Milanov's a defender, Azogwe is a striker, Bejarano midfielder, I think, if I remember correctly. Scatter is a midfielder, Fathi is a midfielder, Rehat is a keeper, Velasco is a defender, Payne is a midfielder, so that's 4 midfielders, Bone is a keeper, so that's wow, 2 of our keepers that are leaving. Interesting. We may have to look at bringing in a 4th keeper, as much as I don't want to. Just looking at that and how the fact that it's all the free agent players that we've brought in are the ones leaving on international duty. I have seen this with other career modes where there are players who leave because of obviously they're international players and they are free agents. But wow, that is a lot to leave. That was 9 players, was it? Or 8 players leaving. So let's quickly go to sell players. So we've got 27 players. So 11 starting, 7 on the bench is 18. We need to have, which means wow, we are right on the edge. So yeah, I think there is room to bring in players. Didn't want to go there. I wanted to see shortlist. There's this guy Shane Smith, a right mid, who looks quite good for an 18-year-old. He wants relatively low wages, 1,500. So I am going to bring him in just to bolster the squad for a year. That's right. So that gives me, if he's 1,500 and I had 5,000, that leaves me with 3,500. What I'm thinking is all those players are international players, so what I might do is look for I might look for an English goalkeeper to loan rather than there's going to be no free agent English keepers there, I'm fairly certain of it. Now, Luke Simpson, who we can't sign because he was with us last year. Transfer listed: Ben Amos, Richard Wright, and Marcus Bentelli. None of these we can't afford Ben Amos. He's on £8 a week. Bentelli 2,000 a week, 1,600. Richard Wright £4 a week. We could bring him in as a backup, but for the sake of a season, I think it might be worthwhile loaning one. I'm thinking Premier League wages may be too high. We can have a look though. Adam Smith, Leicester City. Let's just have a look to loan. £2. Okay. Your stats aren't that bad. Alex Cairns. Andrew Hanna. No. Dorber. No. Angus Gunn. Not bad. Ben Wilson. No. I'm looking at how many reds they've got for the minimums and then seeing what there is. Cameron Dawson has 2 reds. Blair Cox, no. Christian Walton of Brighton. How much are you on a week? £3. Ooh, it's a little bit too much. Connor Hunt, rather a bad name. Dan Wilkes, no. McGilvray, no. Phillips, no. Rosinski, no. Vernon, no, not really. Willis, no. Wood, Rose. Reynolds, no. Harmon, oh, Jack Alnwick, you look like you could be quite tasty, but being for Newcastle, I'm going to go, what, £5 a week? £4 a week? No, we'll leave it. I want someone for a year, and it is going to be a case of that is a type of player I am going to bring in. Steer, what are you on? See, £3 a week. I'm sure there was that guy from Leicester, wasn't there, that was £2 a week. 2,250 for Joe Lumley. Jordan Pickford. Handling isn't that good, but everything else looks to be quite good. What are you on a week? £3 grand. Josh Vickers, not that great. Whoa, this guy looks horrid, but he's only 16. Francis, no. Wilmot, Baker, Irwin. I think it was that first guy. I think was potentially the best one to bring in. It's Adam Smith. Loan listed from Leicester City. £2 grand a week. Full season. Yeah, I can't see him being called up to any squad in terms of internationals. So therefore, that's one of the reasons why I was thinking I could have potentially gone for someone Scottish and seen if there was anyone there that could have been brought up, or Welsh even. I'm just thinking it's more for who's available. Chris Kettings, Mangrove, Scorby, Jordan Archer from Spurs, but he looks shocking to be honest. We'll have a quick look at Wales just to see, because it's one of those where if we don't have a look, it's you'll always wonder. But no one really. So I'm glad we sort of looked at that keeper and we've got that defender in. There is another player who I could bring in, this Victoriano Caicedo, but there's a good chance that he'll go out on international duty. It seems all my free agents that I'm bringing in are going out on international duty because they're players from we've seen. Where was it actually? There was a load from one country. Where was it? There you go, Bolivia. 3, Azogwe, Bejarano, and Arrascaeta, all from Bolivia. I've got 2 Venezuelans. But the thing is, for me, our game, because we have that many players out of the first team, our game should be postponed. Leicester City, they've accepted the loan deal. Good, so that's another keeper, and we don't have to play him. It's more a case of it is just a backup. Shane Smith has declined. He wants a bigger role. 4 years. Okay, we'll say you're an important first team player. Leaves me with 1780 for wages, which I'm just going to leave for now. As soon as this transfer window is done, okay, so Shane Smith has come in. Hopefully he's rated 50 odd, 50, high 50s would be nice, 58ish. Bejarano, whoa, there he is. Look at that, 63. Let's get you straight in. Yeah, so that sort of shocked me that he's rated that highly. He's only 1,500 a week. Well, I can't see there being any more signings should anyone leave, but I might not let anyone leave. We have a squad of 29 now. I'm thinking going forward we are going to have to look to invest in, I think, in youth and in local talent, in English players, I think. Just because that way there's no chance we're actually going to get any players going out on international duty. All I'm trying to do is think of where to send my youth scout. A transfer offer for Michael Liddell from Crewe. We're going to reject that because it is too close to the end of the transfer window. I'm not going to be able to bring anyone in. It's the only reason. If it had come in the first 2-3 hours, I would have accepted it. But I'm not going to. Transfer offer for Stuart Ballatoni to go out on loan. I'm going to accept it, probably against my better judgment, but I'm going to accept it. We brought in 2. We've let 1 go out on loan, but it is it's a player who would have been, I suppose, I'm not going to say cannon fodder, but he'd have been bench fodder, and that'd have been it. Whereas we can allow him to go out on loan. We still have another youth player, and whilst we're on youth staff, we have 135,000 to send my guy out. 2-star experience, 3-star judgment. I want to send him to somewhere like Portugal. I think I'd like to go somewhere like that. 76,000 for 3 months in Portugal. Wow, England 3 months is 38,000. Scotland 3 months is 38,000. unless it's the type of player that we're going to bring in. Could send him back to Norway. That's the thing I'm trying. That's why I was thinking about potentially sending him to England, because it's the talent that we'd get, and we'd get local talent that wouldn't go out on international duty. Because I think when it comes to next season, we are just going to have to not buy free agents. We're going to have to buy English and stick with the squad that we have, not sell anyone unless we get a hefty fee. I'm talking another $1 million+ deal. But you know what? I will look to send him to England. 6 months, 76,000. That leaves me with 59,000. Let's sort this office out. Right, so he's gone to England for 6 months. We're in September, so that's going to take him to March, April time. It costs what, 21,000 to sign a player and 500 a week. So if I have that down, can I get 84,000 and 2,000? No, I can't. So I'll leave that at 1,900 in wages and 78,000 in transfer budget. That will allow me to sign 3 youth players. But we'll have to see what happens. We do have a long way to go. Yeah, obviously we've got a fair way to go before these players will be any good. But we have Tim Payne, who has come and said, playing well, and I want to be selected. Okay, fine. Well, I don't think you're ironically going to be selected, because if I bring you in, let's just have a look, bring you in for Viz Corondo, you've got the little sign on that says you can't play because you're away on international duty. So I find that quite funny how you want to play. It's going to be Aldred. Still looks a decent team, even though we have a few players who are away on international duty. Bone we know has gone out on international duty, so Smith is going to be on the bench. Alustig needs to come on the bench for Tim Payne. Velasco was going out on international duty, but Little can be there. Buxton is okay. Azogwe was going out on international duty. Bejarano was. It's going to have to be Noble, I think. Milanov was. Mingioa, I don't think actually was. We'll leave it as that, and we'll see what the assistant says for the next game. Good thing is the Jug hasn't gone out on international duty, otherwise that would be an absolute kick in the teeth if we lost all 3 keepers. Right, so that starting 11 looks pretty good. Playing Oxford, who have a 4-2-3-1 formation. I can't find that formation anywhere in football, in the tactics, but they've won 1, drawn 1, lost 1. I suppose I'm happy with the back 4. We changed to the back 4 at the end of last season, and it seemed to work pretty well. And skip the game, although my controller's just turned itself off, so I can't skip the game. And now I can skip the game, and it's a 1-1. Hatfield and Rose both scored in 5 minutes. AFC Wimbledon drew with York. That's okay. Right, let's see what we can get done. If my voice sounds a bit weird for the next few seconds, guys, don't worry about it. I'm just trying to plug in my controller whilst this game goes. So, fuck off. Sorry. It's just this game is starting to annoy me. It's really starting to piss me off. Because I'll show you why in a second. And if we go up, we have an office. And one of these is from Tim Payne. Disappointed not to start. You are fucking away on international duty. Why? Oh, Vizcarrondo out for 6 weeks. But why do that? It's same as Aldred coming to say he wants to leave on the 1st of September when the transfer window's over. Tim Payne, I want to play the next game. You're fucking away on international duty. Jesus wept. Anyway, Tim Payne, you'll be pleased to get your wish. You are back for this game. Aldred, let's have you out, and Milanov back in. Lussa off the bench, and who can we have on the bench? Bejarano. Vizcarrondo is in good form, but he's just not playing that well. I need another centre back. There we go. Bejarano, Smith, Mingioa, McCartan, Bauman. Azogwe is in need of a rest. Bowman, let's have you on the bench instead of Smith. Smith doesn't really need to be there. It's only when there's international breaks that we have him on the bench. But guys, I will actually show you one thing I have been noticing. The reason why we're in 12th now is we have been drawing so many games. 1 win, 5 draws, 0 defeats. We scored 7 goals. We only conceded 4. But it's just the fact that once again we're just not scoring like last season, and it is getting to be a bit of a bitch, to be honest. But right, Burton unbeaten in 3, 2 draws, 1 defeat. This could be a tough game. 2-1 win. Way moan about not winning, and we win. Payne and Hatfield with the goals. Payne with the winner 12 minutes from time. Let's get on with this next game. I think we are going to have to make some changes, as is so close to the previous one. Smith, yes, for Bejarano. Payne, yes, for Fathy. Back line, we're going to keep the same. Hatfield, let's have Mingio back in. Briveo, let's have you out, and Bauman back in. Other than that, Zogway. So let's have Briveo on the bench. Buxton, Vizcarrondo out for a while. Smith, Olusa. Yep, you know what? Let's stick with that team. I wanted to stick basically with the full team we had last time, but we need to rest some players, rotate some players, keep some happy, keep it fresh. Tranmere lost 2 of their last 3, got a draw. They've conceded in every game, so they'll probably keep a clean sheet here. We are away from home. But what can we get done? It would be nice to get something out of this game. Oh, hey, Galindo and Fathy with the goals. 2-0 win. Shooting boots missing for Antulia. That is correct. He may be dropped for this game. May pop him down to the bench, just to give him that little kick up the arse that he might need. Right, so Stevenage coming up. And we've climbed to the dizzy heights of 5th in the table now. Only 2 points off the top. Pretty good, you know, but wow, it's so congested. 6 points separates Southend in 15th and Rochdale at top of the table. Exeter have 2 draws, no wins. Luton are undefeated as well. They've got 2 wins and 6 draws. We've got 3 wins and 5 draws, same as Oxford. Only 3 teams unbeaten. Well, look at that. Colchester, Newport. Holy shit. Some good teams there with they're down there. Newport, you'd expect them to be up there. Luton, you'd maybe expect them to be up there a little. We have conceded the least number of goals in 5, but out of the top 6 or 7 there, we'd only scored the least. So, time to make a couple of changes. Ntuli out. And Briveo back in, Fathy out, Tim Payne back in, Bejarano out, Smith back in, Galindo. Let's keep you there actually. Mingio will keep you there. Struna. Back line is looking well. I want to keep them the same. Starting to hit a bit of form. So we'll keep that back line as it is. At home to Stevenage. I didn't see where they were in the league, but they've only taken 2 points out of a potential 9 of their last 3. So, what can we get out of this game? A 2-0 win. Mingio and Bauman with the goals. Bejarano, Fathy and McCartan all came on. Completely dropped Ntuli for that last game. We are going to bring him on, I think. And we'll put him on the bench at least. About your performance. Despite the concern around the performance of the football club, you shall continue to be at the helm for the foreseeable future. We're in 3rd in the league. We've got a tough game coming up against York, who were up there, I think, when we looked at the table last. But we have a nice break. Laurie Noble wants to make a request. I was hoping you'd be experimenting with the squad. Not a chance, fella. York are in 6th place. 2 points behind us, so we need to get something out of this game. McCartan's playing with Ozogwe. Let's have Ntuli there. It says Ntuli's in form, but he's just not scoring. So maybe he is assisting in a lot of games. But other than that, I'm going to keep the team the same. It was a winning performance. Well, York won one, drawn one, lost one of their last three. They have scored in every game, so I expect them to score in this one. They don't though. Payne and Bowman with the goals, and Tooley came on at half-time for Brivio. Henry Zogway, my role at the club. I hope this will change. Yada yada yada. Mate, while I've got strikers in form, you're going to get a chance on the bench, and that's it. Wilthelm, monthly scout report. Thank you. Training injury as well. Player conversations. Aldred once again wants to be sold. So, is this going to be a regular thing where the first of every month he's going to come and say, sell me? So maybe we have to sell him. And oh shit, who was that? Will Hatfield out for 2 months. Okay, it's our right mid. We have Smith. We have Bejarano, I think, as well. But Hatfield could play left mid as well. Right. Ben Taylor Fletcher looks pretty shocking. Goalkeeper Jacob Maguire looks to be okay. Matty Gale looks to be really good. And another keeper, Paul Afobe. So Ben Taylor Fletcher will reject. Maguire, Matty Gale, Afobe. I'll just carry on scouting them for now. I'm not going to shoot my bolt and waste all my money on buying the first 3 players that become available. Right, we have a game coming up now, and then we have a cup game. So I can happily say, Azogwa, you are going to play in one of those 2 games. I will make those 2 games my last 2. I'll do a squad report as we are in. Also replace the unavailable player just for this match. Right. We'll do a squad report after these 2 games. The one was a cup game. I thought it was against Notts County. 4-1 win. Milanov, Mingio, Biriveo and Bowen with the goals for this game. And Tooley didn't come on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my 2 strikers around for this next game. Tim Payne saying thanks for playing him. No worries fella, you are one of my best. So let's move forward. Johnston's Paint Trophy. This will give us a little bit of cash, I'm sure it will. But right. And Tooley back in. Zogway in. Fathi in. Bejarano in, Galindo for Alusa, Struner for Buxton. Other than that, I'm going to keep the back line the same. Thank you. That will do nicely. An office. Players leaving on international duty. Right, who's leaving this time? Bone Galindo. Did Galindo leave last time? I don't think it is. That's a new one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there with Reha, 7 with Fathi, Dejue 8, Payne 9, Jug 10, Struner 11, Milanov 12. 12 players, and holy shit, 3 keepers are leaving. Bone, Jug and Reha. Well, that's 12 players leaving on international duty. I'm not going to have enough to play games. Once again, we have been shafted. When is this game being played? 9th to the 15th of October. 12 players leaving. 12 players leaving, 12 players leaving. What am I thinking with 12 players leaving? That's going to drop us down to 17 players. We are not going to have enough to play this next game. Well, we can play this game, but they leave on the 9th. So that game against Shrewsbury, we have no players. We don't have enough players. There's no way of asking the board to view fixture. No, I was hoping we could go in and ask for it to be rescheduled. Request funds, but no, there's nothing in there that we can actually do anything about it. Do we have any players injured as well? That's my only worry. Yeah, Viz Corondo, but you weren't leaving on international duty. And it's a league game, so I need 7 subs. Otherwise, there's the 12 that are leaving. But Viz Corondo is one of them, so I'm actually 2 players short. Well, that is pretty awful, to be honest. I can't believe that we've once again been shafted with players leaving. Just checking again, Viz Corondo is not one of those, but wow, we have so many players leaving. The only thing I can potentially do is this. View scout report, and I have 2 keepers who I can sign. I can bring them in now. Will mean having 2 keepers on the bench, but I can play the game. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to try and do it, and then I'm going to have to sign them up. Offer contract. Offer contracts and hope they sign in time. It's the only thing I can do. So who can't play? Who's on the bench that can't play? Hatfield. We need a striker on the bench. Let's go with McCartan. But yeah, that once again has wow, that's really annoyed me, the fact that with that, if a team down in League 1 or League 2 had that many players away on international duty, the game would be rearranged. But anyway, it's going to be an interesting few minutes. See if we can sign these 2 guys up and just have 3 keepers on the bench, or 2 keepers on the bench. We win this game though. Fathy with the goal for 39 minutes, so that we are through to the next round of the cup. Oh, and we're given some prize money, £4 grand. So, 1 office. Jacob has accepted his contract. Please tell me they both have. No, we're just up here. I think I failed. Jacob Maguire. Did I actually offer them both contracts? I could have sworn I did. I don't think I'm going to be able to play this game now. Let's go in here and see. Once again, yep, can't play the game. So that was a waste. Could have sworn I offered them both contracts. But let's have a look anyway, because if Hatfield's injured, I don't even think I could fill. Right, Azogwe for Biriveo. Fathy for Noble. Bejarano, Smith. Milanov, Velasco, Dejouet, Aldred, Jug, Smith. Yeah, Hatfield, Viz Corondo, 2 injuries anyway, so even with 12 players leaving, I wouldn't have enough. That is annoying. Surely you should be able to play the game with a short bench if you wanted to. We're going to have to forfeit and carry on, which is it's very annoying. Yeah, so I may have to bring youth players in earlier than I want to get more players in the squad. Otherwise, I just take and don't sign youth players. As ironically, there you go, Viz Corondo has returned. Yeah, so maybe it's one of those where I'll have to sign some of these youth players up quicker, as Aphobia has now accepted his contract, which I didn't want to do, but I just hope there's no more international breaks anytime soon. Yeah, I may have to. I've got to think as well because of when my scout finishes his not his tour. It's only going to be March, so I'm going to lose any youth players then that I can't sign up. But I'm also going to have to look at whether I sign up or loan any more players. I've got 40,000 here. That is £1,700 wage budget. I can't make it 42,000 and 1,000 wages, I don't think. So I've got 21,000 to sign up one more youth player. I need a good cup run is what I need. And we have a cup game, two cup games actually. Northampton Town in the FA Cup and Newport in the Johnston's Paint, both in November. But I'm annoyed because we've now got 31 players. So I think though, if I have everyone available, and those 12 players are out on international duty, that leaves me with a squad of 19 now. So I can afford one injury or suspension. But guys, I'm going to call it a day there. It's gone the half-hour mark. I was going to do a squad report, but I'll look to do that in the next episode, where hopefully we will get up to maybe up to Christmas done. We'll have to see. But guys, I'll call it a day there. Thanks for watching. Cheers.